Hello, my name is Patrick, and I will be doing my capstone on a retention strategy for Fund for the Public Interest. I have been working for Fund for the Public Interest for the last couple of months as a field manager, and while I've been working there, I've noticed that the organization does have issues with retaining members and workers. And, I think that it's very important that in order to meet some of their goals, that is an issue that needs to be addressed. Um, oh, so some of the challenges are there is extremely high turnover rate. Constant recruiting and retraining does drain a lot of our managers and directors, energy and time, and we lose experienced staff members after a period of time, generally because of quotas or because of other engagements that they have with other things outside of the program. As a result of that, managers generally have to work a lot harder, and constantly have to be training new people instead of continuing to train some of our more stronger, um, already hired individuals, and it just reduces organizational efficiency. Why that matters is recruitment and training requires significant time and financial resources. Turnover interrupts campaign momentum. We usually aim for sort of an avalanche approach of, we start slow, but then we build up our base, and then we have many, many people going out and, talking to hundreds of people a day. Um, Communities receive less consistent outreach, and nonprofits generally have a limited amount of resources and depend on public funds or stable staffing. In fact, national research has found that about 69% of nonprofit employees feel underpaid. 64% of them express financial concerns about even remaining in the nonprofit sector at all. Um, my proposed project is an employment retention improvement initiative. I would like to improve the onboarding process, formal mentorships for new staff, weekly coaching and professional development, recognition and incentive programs, regular employee feedback surveys, exit interviews to identify trends, and retention metric dashboards. I'm hoping that I can already access some of these because I work here. I'm hoping that talking to my directors, I can get some of the data from them. But if not, I will maybe try to take that into my own hands and just create my own surveys and ask people that I'm a manager. I can maybe reach out to some of our people that were let go or had to go on to do other things and just get a feedback survey that way. Um, Expected organizational benefits. We're aiming for lower turnover. That's the goal. Higher employment and higher employee engagement, reducing hiring costs, and stronger campaign performance. So as I am working for Environment North Carolina, or I'm sorry, for Fund for the Public Interest, we did just wrap up our Environment North Carolina um, campaign, and now we are working to do an NC PIRG campaign, doing the Right to Repair in North Carolina. So that is going to be that starts actually this week. So it'd be really good to see this on a rolling basis as more and more people come in. Um, but strategic planning provides organizations with structured processes for addressing significant organizational challenges, such as employee retention. That is our main problem, at least here in our North Carolina office. Um, oh, So, how this aligns with core public values. Well, we're supporting the public service through stronger organizations. Ultimately, this would create a stronger organization, and with that, you get better support for employees with different backgrounds and experience levels. You get more consistent opportunities for success, lower hiring and training costs, more stable workforce, and better long-term organizational capacities. What's also nice is if this can, be done well, the Fund for the Public umbrella has many, many organizations underneath it, and it could be used throughout all of them. And that would be phenomenal if this is if there are results that are positive from this kind of, initiative. Um, but there are also strong for justice. There are strong advocacy for environmental and consumer protection campaigns, more effective public engagement. Um, Cross-section collaboration, obviously, it is all the donors, volunteers, NC Environment North Carolina, and ultimately Fund for the Public Interest, as well as any of the community members and other organizations, even outside of Fund for the Public Interest, that Fund for the Public Interest does work with. So all these people would be benefited by this. The expected community impact, the long-term goals that we're aiming for are more experienced workforce, um, an increased efficiency, better use of nonprofit funding, and higher campaign successes. It would be great if we could be able to kind of put back, we are 100, at least uh, uh, Fund for the Public Interest is a fully public supported nonprofit, which means they're fully publicly funded. They don't have any grants or anything like that that they get from the government, which is, to say that you can use that money more efficiently would go very, very far because they are grassroots. Um, they are very picky with how they use their money, and they have to be because they don't have a lot of it and they're trying to do big changes. The community, it would be great to have a stronger public education, more consistent community outreach, greater support for environmental and consumer protection policies, and ultimately, lessons learned from this project could be applied to other nonprofit advocacy organizations that rely on direct community engagements. Um, Throughout my work, I did find a couple references from different places. So here are my references. And I did use AI. So this is my AI disclosure as well. Thank you very much. Bye.